and welcome to the Leadership Race 2024 results. How how unplanned and spontaneous did that applause seem? Good job, everybody. Well done. So thank you for joining us. Hopefully, obviously we can't hear you, but hopefully you can at least see us in Verve, and hopefully you should be able to hear us as well. So, hello. Also, you should be able to see and hear us in London. We can see and hear you, but just not right now. So, hello to London, hello to Verve, just over the road from where we are in the Campus building, and hello to anybody who's joining the stream on YouTube or on Instagram Live. Um, this is the show for this year's leadership race. But before we get into the exciting detail of the election and some of the campaigning that's been happening over the last week or couple of weeks, really, we do have a lovely video of some amazing volunteers to play you. So let's cut to that and see some of your student leaders in action.
Why do I volunteer? I became president because I like to lead. I like to see new things. I like people to be part of new things.
It's kind of just a give back to the union and like that built up my confidence, brought me out of my shell.
I really enjoy it. I love meeting people. I love interacting with loads of different students and staff.
It's very ingrained in me coming from Norway. It's a very normal part of our culture, but I have a lot of fun with it.
Just so that I can bring the joy of this to other people. And because it's fun, it gives me something to do.
I think giving back is great. Giving back to the community and stuff like that is great. And it just makes it feel good.
Why not? I mean, you're in uni, you're only going to do it once. Why not just have some fun with it?
Excellent. I couldn't see that, but I got the okay sign from Josh, who's being our tech support. So we'll have just seen a brilliant little video which interviews and shows some of the work that our amazing current and past student leaders do. It's called the Leadership Race for a reason. Everybody who engages with the Students' Union and signs up to take on a role or help out with an event or organise something is a student leader because they're stepping up to make something happen, but they are also a volunteer. People, including your assembled candidates, are giving up their free time to engage in the Students' Union and make stuff happen, whatever that stuff is. So it's really, really brilliant to see that kind of activity and give that recognition to our volunteers. And speaking of recognition, after this results show, we will all be hot footing it over the road to the LRV to join the We Are Staffs Proud to be Staff's event that we're hosting for this year. And I am very, very excited to say big congratulations and well done. All of our volunteers and student leaders will be getting recognised just after that. But to come back to right now and the election, yesterday at midnight or 23:59, as a pedant pointed out to me, can't remember who that was. And this year we've seen 1,625 individual voting students get involved, which I think deserves a round of applause. Because that's at least 120 more people than last year, which is really, really positive to see. We've had votes cast across all sites, including some of our partner students, so not just in London, further afield as well. We've had 92 contested positions in this election with 188 candidates. So that's a lot of people throwing their hat in the ring to step up and become a student leader, to do that volunteering with the Students' Union. So well done to everybody, regardless of whether you're elected or not tonight. And we've had 3,451 individual votes cast. And it's because each voter can obviously vote for multiple positions and give preferences within that. So really, really impressive statistics, I think. I would say that because I'm the elections person. absolutely fantastic to see that the commitment that all of our candidates put in pays off, and actually students vote and they're interested and they want to make a choice about who leads staffs for the next academic year. And of course, the election isn't just officers who our assembled candidates hope to be for next year. We have committees for our student groups, societies, clubs, and our representative networks. And we've got subject groups as a representative role and a couple of additional special little roles that don't fit within that. So that's why the leadership race is so big. That's why it's so exciting. And we do have a little more content for me to cut to see some of our committee members in action and the kind of work that they do. So I feel like I should say roll VD. Excellent. Another okay sign. I feel the need to justify everything, just in case I'm a little bit late coming in after one of those videos or clips has finished. But we're back in the room, everybody. So again, fantastic to see all of the hard work that some of our student leaders and volunteers do. And now we get to the first section of this evening, which actually involves some results. There you go. Should have been like a children's TV game show host, really, shouldn't I? So we are now going to move to announcing the students who have been elected into student group committee roles. Just before we do that, as I probably should have done as I started the stream, and any of you who've watched any of our candidate Q&A events that we did last week will already know. My name's Jamie. I'm a staff member at the Students' Union, and as part of my role, I pick up responsibility for being Deputy Returning Officer, which is essentially elections planner and organiser and decisions maker. So I'm the elections person, and that's why, unfortunately, every time we get around to April, you have to listen to me talk on live streams. So we'll be announcing our elected committee members for our different student groups. Some people were elected unopposed, so there's only one person standing for that position, and they've already been published online and contacted. So the results that I'm about to take you through are only for contested positions where we've had to do an election count. So, as seamlessly as everything else, hopefully, let's move to our first batch of elected committee members. Wonderful. Let's give them a round of applause. I was told via sign that the applause isn't picking up on the mic, so we're just going to try and clap as hard as we can when we need to. And I'm going to try and read out all of the names that you will be able to see on the stream. You can see in the room just next to us. But what I am going to say again is every single one of these people whose name is next to a post that's been elected this year is just the same as the candidates that are assembled in the room now with me. These are people who've put themselves forward and stuck their head above to students to ask for their votes and get that engagement. So when we say the leadership race isn't just about officers, it really isn't. It's really important that we recognise the contribution of these people as well. And great, we're flicking through there to see the next screen. If any of you may be watching in Verve, you might be quite far away from one of the screens and thinking, is that me? Is that me? Don't worry, I'm flicking through these still kind of at pace. This isn't the last chance to find out if you've been elected, don't worry. So as soon as this streaming event is done, we will publish an article on the Students' Union website which has exactly the same content that you can see now. So if you are somebody who's been running to become committee member of one of our student groups, you'll be able to head to the website and see if you've been elected or not. And there we go. We've got down to Yu-Gi-Oh, so we must be getting close to the end now. Although I will, for an infinite amount of time, I will take any opportunity to talk and waffle to people that I've got trapped in a room. So continuing to speak is not going to be an issue for me, but you might notice some of our candidates start to droop after a while. It's also that because we've got 4 or 5 screens of results to flick through, I guess that also hits home the scale of the leadership race, and just how many opportunities we have available through the Students' Union, but also the number of people who are willing to get involved and go for those. Wonderful, and there's our final little last slide. And again, you can see that results will be published online as soon as possible this stream. So congratulations to everybody whose name has just appeared on that list. And let's give them another big round. Amazing. Thank you very much. And thank you again to the voice team who are coordinating and clicking and making everything happen very seamlessly and impressively. So with all of our student group committee roles announced, there's one more other group of people to announce before we come to full-time officers. And I'm going to need another ooh in a minute. So, and that is subject reps, which is a new introduced for 2024 role that we've never had before. Ah, Taylor, the power that I feel I have, it shouldn't be done. So yes, subject reps. We had, I'm sure pretty much everybody knows, our university recently restructured our academic schools. Now, to a lot of students, they may well have not known or noticed that they now sit within a different academic school because day to day, arguably to a lot of students, it doesn't really make that much difference. But what does make a difference is the way the university organises itself and how that connects to our representative system, the Students' Union. So we used to have department rep roles where student volunteers would run in the leadership race, get elected, and then they would represent a whole department, a whole chunk of our university. But following the restructure, some of those departments became really quite big, and all the different courses within them were actually quite distinct. So therefore expecting one student volunteer to represent a huge breadth of courses on which they may not know any students at all or really have any connection didn't seem like the most sensible way to make our representation happen. Hence, the introduction of subject reps. So in the last 3 weeks of February, leap year, we managed to completely overhaul that element of our representative system, and we've introduced the subject role, which essentially means we have chopped up our department reps, and that's why only Stephen survived. He's the only one that's left. We've chopped up their role. So instead of expecting a student volunteer to look after a huge chunk of a university, subject reps will now look after a much more manageable section of how the university groups itself. So hopefully that means we can get more people involved. It makes the role less taxing for our student volunteers who are doing all of this off their own back and in their own time. and therefore hopefully makes our representation even more effective. So I know that's quite a lot of spiel about subject reps, but because of how quickly we turned that round, we haven't had the chance to do very much communication to students about this is a thing. So now we've got a bit of spiel, which unfortunately we may cut up and use elsewhere, but we'll see. So, subject reps. We've got some of them elected. So, shall we find out who they are? Fantastic. There you go. I can see them on screen. So, hopefully, you should be able to see them on screen. Or we have just shy of 50 subject rep roles that are open and live this year. As you can see on screen, we haven't filled all of those positions, and that's probably because it's quite new to people. So, come the autumn time, after Welcome Week is done, I know, seems like a million years away, but it will be here before you know it. And we'll be running a by election to fill the vacant posts that we didn't fill this time. But for our first Wonderful. As you can hopefully see on screen, we've got lots of different smaller subjects. Actually, we do have some duplicates as well. So the subject rep system allows us to duplicate without causing problems. So we can actually have subject rep for nursing in Stafford and one in Stoke, rather than again expecting that one student volunteer to cover all of those students and try and represent their student voice. So congratulations to our first ever subject reps. And for all of the roles that I've just announced and pointed out and you've seen on screen, whether that's for student group committees or representative roles, at some point next week, you will receive an email or emails to say, well done, and what's going to happen next. So details about timelines and training and things like that. We'll get that information to you as soon as possible. But let's have one more round of applause for everybody who's been elected so far. And I'm going to cross out all of that because I've said all of that now. So I'm sure, particularly everybody watching, but particularly everybody in the room, will now be very, very excited because I'm actually going to shut up briefly. Each year, when we come to announce the results of the leadership race, we always take a little moment to kind of list what, if we can, of our current officers come and speak a little bit about the campaigning that they've seen or the year that they have had. So at this point, he's much more handsome than me and he smells divine. He's your current president, Ariane Edgeterin.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Yeah, so I won't pretend to read everything I want to say from my head. I have a short note I want to read here, so I won't pretend. Anyways, yeah, again, good evening, everyone. And I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to the new officers that would be announced in few minutes. And I am super confident with the campaign that I have seen every single one of you run. I'm super confident that you are going to lead very well with integrity, with passion, and with a vision for our student union. And also to the new officer team that will be announced in a few minutes. The fact is that you're stepping into roles that will prepare you for the future. You're stepping into roles that would actually impact your life positively. And this is an experience that would shape whatever it is you're going to do in future. So you are about to do something great for the university. So you really need to embrace this, embrace it with all your hands, and be sure that you listen to your students, listen to your peers, you're leading them, and you're also serving them. Also, a big thank you to everybody who has participated in this election, whether the time you took to cast your vote, and to everybody contested in this election. Thank you to everybody. Your engagement is the reason why our student union is where it is right now. And we need you to keep engaging the student union so that we can continue to do the work that you have elected us and you have appointed people to do for you. So I'm sure that these new officers who will be coming on board will do really, really great job for the student union. And I am asking every student out there to continue to support them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Olayemi. I noticed that I gave you 2 compliments and you didn't give me any, but that's fine. It's by that at all. It's absolutely fine. But thank you very much, Olayemi. Those lovely words. So thank you for that. So we're getting there now. As you can now see on your screens, these are all of the candidates who this year have been contesting to become your full-time officer team for next year. All 18 of them. Many of them have been able to join us tonight here in Stoke. We do have, I believe, some of our London candidates who are waiting near a camera down in London, and potentially we've got a couple of people in Verve as well watching along with their friends. So well done again. I know Olayemi just said well done on all of your campaigning. It has been fantastic to see the candidates out and about and getting those votes. And certainly that increase in our voter turnout doesn't happen by accident. So thank you for that as well. So there's our full candidate list, but what we need to do now is narrow it down to the 4 people who will make up your full-time officer team for the academic year 2024-2025. And I've just been shown a sign that says the voice is dropping occasionally, so I'm going to lean into the mic and increase the drama. Now, we at Stats, you may not have noticed because you're a student here with us, but we're actually a little bit unusual as a students' union. So all of our officers are non-portfolio. What that means is they are elected on the manifesto that you elect them to do. They don't hold a role like activities officer or education officer. The officers are your officers, there to represent and serve you and work for you. What that means is we'll be announcing this evening those 4 officers who will make up your team. What we won't be announcing this evening is who is going to be offered the position of presidency. So I've explained all of this to you already, but here's your reminder. We don't announce that. We offer that opportunity to the student with the largest mandate, the most votes, and it's their decision whether they wish to accept responsibility or talk to their new team and delegate it on. Make sense? Happy days. Okay. So we will be therefore announcing your officer team in no particular order. So the first person who comes up, that doesn't necessarily mean that they have the highest mandate or will be offered the position of presidency. So from me, let's find out who the first person elected to be part of your full-time officer team for the next academic year is. Congratulations, Farhan. So Farhan is one of your current vice presidents and therefore will be joining you for his 2nd term. Let's go to the second person who's been elected. It's Precious Obain. So Precious, unfortunately, isn't able to join us here this evening, but I'm sure we'll get some words of hopefully excited enthusiasm from them as soon as possible to share with you. So that's 2 down. Let's find out our 3rd full-time officer for next year. It's Leah Thompson. Congratulations, Leah, who looks slightly stunned. In a second, I'll ask you to both come up and say a few words, so try and calm yourselves. But we still have our 4th and final full-time officer to announce, so let's find out who that is. It's Joseph Knight. So, congratulations to Joseph. Again, Joseph is one of your current vice presidents and therefore will be joining us for a 2nd term at the Students' Union. We will, I imagine, cut to mad scenes in London shortly. But first, Farhan and Leah, would you like to come up and join me and say a few excited words, hopefully? So, yeah, do come up and join me. So, I'm going to ask you first because you look very, very shocked. Are you okay?
I just want to say a big thank you to some of the other candidates, first and foremost. As some of you may know, a lot of us have been working together this year to try and support each other through the campaign week. So can we get an applause in the room for that? And I would also love to give a huge thank you to everyone who has voted for me. It's really, really appreciated. Thank you so much. For round.
Hi everyone. I was not expecting this from I've done very well, but hats off to all the contestants because you all have done very well. I was thinking like I may not be able to like get a seat or get a full-time officer position this year. You, but with your support, guys, I did this. Thank you very much for the your continued support, guys. And I would like to appreciate everyone who did campaign for me, and I would say like thank you very much again. Thanks.
Well done. I mean, Leah, I'm not too happy about you getting people to clap. That's very much my thing. Now, thankfully, when Joseph was elected last year, it was complete chaos. It was like the FA Cup had been won down in London. But hopefully, we will be able to cut to London and hear a few words from Joseph. Like I said, last year he got completely mobbed, so he may well be in a happy headlock or something. So I'm just going to glance over to Josh and see if we're in a position to cut to London and hear briefly from Joseph. He's given me a thumbs up. Joseph, we might not be able to talk to each other necessarily, but please do tell us how do you feel?
Uh, well, hello everyone. Um, the turnout this year. I'm so grateful to everyone who participated, everyone who voted. I think that this is going to be a really, really great year for everyone. We have a great set of officers. I'm happy to be working with Ryan again. I think he did a really good job last year, and I hope he can continue doing more this year.
They're also having a kind of end of year type event with some awards and pizza, which Connor, our London coordinator, has coordinated and I'm told was late, but did arrive, so people got pizza. So to everybody in London who's listening in, thank you very much. Well done to Joseph, but also to Tajay and Casey, who are our two other candidates down in London. So well done to all of you, and I hope you thoroughly enjoy your evening, as everybody who's at We Are Staffs will do up here in Stoke. So that's it. I would like to say a huge well done to all of the other candidates who ran and unfortunately weren't elected this year. But as Leah and Farhan and everybody else has said, really, well done. You've made an excellent election. Um, oh, oh, amazing! Oh, I've missed a bit, and Josh has just pulled me up on it. But well done to all of you for fantastic campaigns. The engagement's been great. You've been a lovely bunch of candidates to work with. As we said this morning, well, earlier on when we were having lunch, you may not have been elected, but I think everybody was saying that it's been a great experience that you've really enjoyed. So thank you and congratulations, even though it wasn't for you this time. And on that, thanks to Josh's prompt, to sign off and finish, we'll now play a short video of content of our full-time officers campaigning over the last few days. So thank you again to everybody who's engaged and participated in the election, and we will see you all next year.